Hello, everyone. Dr. SAP here, ready to guide you through another essential process in the world of SAP financials. Today, we'll focus on manual payment processing within the Accounts Payable module. While many organizations use automated payment programs for efficiency, there are scenarios where manual payments become necessary. For instance, imagine handling an urgent supplier payment or managing an adjustment where automation isn't ideal. Manual payments provide the flexibility needed in such cases. In this session, we'll walk through how to record a payment manually in the system. This ensures that our financial records remain accurate and up-to-date, even in unique situations. No worries about checks or printouts for now. We'll focus purely on understanding how to post the payment in the system. Ready? Let's dive in and make it happen.
Let's return to the main screen. From here, we'll navigate to the Manage Supplier Line Items application. This step allows us to focus on a specific supplier and analyze the open items within their account. Now, we are in the Manage Supplier Line Items application. This tool is part of the Accounts Payable subledger in financial accounting. Here, we aim to analyze the open items for a specific supplier. Our goal is to verify the balance of €3,410 and identify whether there are multiple open items. Let's proceed by selecting a supplier. At this point, we've accessed the supplier search field. This allows us to filter and locate the relevant supplier account for further analysis. Let's begin by entering the supplier code in the search field. We've entered the supplier code vendor 001 into the search field. The system will now display all open items related to this supplier. Let's take a closer look at the results to analyze the transactions. Here are the open items for vendor 001. The system identifies two entries that contribute to the total balance of €3,410. Let's examine the details of these transactions. On the second line of the report, we can see that this item is marked as overdue. This indicates that its due date has passed, as shown by the status in the report. This highlights how the system provides detailed insights into open items, helping us monitor overdue transactions and ensure timely follow-up actions. In this step, we are exiting the Manage Supplier Line Items screen, where we identified the open items for the selected supplier. The goal now is to process the payment for these two invoices through a manual posting, which will be executed in the next step using the Post Outgoing Payments functionality. Now, we are transitioning to the Post Outgoing Payments application. This functionality allows us to record manual payments directly in the system. Unlike automated processes, this type of manual posting is often used in situations such as correcting previous entries or recording payments that were processed directly through the bank but need to be reflected in SAP. This ensures that both the open items and the bank account are updated correctly. Here, we start by entering the general payment details. You'll notice fields like company code, posting date, journal entry date, and value date. These dates are critical for aligning the transaction with accounting periods and ensuring compliance with financial reporting requirements. Let's go ahead and fill in these fields before proceeding. In the bank data section, we select the appropriate GL account associated with the bank account that will process the payment. This step ensures funds are correctly allocated. For our example, we'll use the account labeled Bank. Once selected, we verify the displayed account details to confirm everything is accurate. Now, with the bank account set, we're ready to move on. Next, we focus on the Open Item Selection field, where we'll input the supplier account ID. For this example, let's use vendor 001. This ensures the system identifies the correct supplier and fetches the associated open items. After entering the ID, we click on Show Items, which displays all open transactions linked to the supplier. This allows us to review and choose the items to clear. In the list of open items for vendor 001, each row represents an outstanding invoice with details like the amount, due date, and journal entry number. We'll begin by selecting the first item for clearing, marking it for payment. Once selected, the system updates the balance automatically, confirming our progress. Let's continue by selecting the second item in the same way. Notice how the system reflects the updated status as each item is cleared. Now that both items are selected, the system calculates the total payment amount, which appears as €3,410 in the top right corner of the screen. This total represents the combined value of the selected items, without any discounts applied. We'll enter this amount in the Amount field, cross-checking it with the bank statement or other payment documentation to ensure accuracy. Confirming the amount eliminates discrepancies before finalizing the transaction. With the payment amount entered, the system shows a zero balance in the top right corner, indicating the payment is balanced and ready for posting. Everything is set, so let's proceed to complete the process by posting the payment. After posting the transaction, the system confirms the successful booking by displaying a pop-up with the journal entry number. This message signifies that the payment process is complete, and the open items have been fully cleared. After completing the payment posting, we move to the next step to review the document details. In this step, we click on the Display button within the Success message pop-up. This action allows us to view the document we just created and examine its content for accuracy and verification purposes. Here, we can see the document details. The header section provides the journal entry number, posting date, and additional key information about the transaction. Below, we can observe the line items, a credit to the bank account for the total payment amount of €3,410 and a corresponding debit to the accounts payable. This reflects that the payment has been cleared, and the open items for the supplier are now fully compensated. Here, we navigate to the T-account view by clicking the corresponding option in the toolbar. This step transitions us to a detailed view, enabling a closer look at the transaction's accounting impact. This process ensures that we can examine the movement of funds between accounts with precision. In this view, we observe the accounting impact of the transaction. The T-account view clearly displays the credit entry of €3,410 to the bank account and the corresponding debit entry to accounts payable. This representation confirms the payment was successfully processed, clearing the open items for the supplier and updating the balances accordingly. This step concludes the process, offering a comprehensive view of the transaction's completion. After reviewing the transaction details in the T-account view, let's proceed to analyze how this payment affects the supplier's open items. For this, we navigate to the Manage Supplier Line Items application. This app allows us to observe the impact of the payment on the supplier's outstanding balances, offering a more comprehensive view of the process. Here in the Manage Supplier Line Items screen, we can see the supplier's open items prior to processing the payment. Notice the items highlighted with red icons, which indicate their status as pending or open. These represent amounts that were due before the transaction took place. Now, we will update the view to reflect the latest status of the supplier's accounts. To do this, we click the Go button, effectively refreshing the data on the screen. This confirms that the payment has been processed successfully and that the supplier's open items have been fully compensated. This updated view provides clarity on the payment's impact on the supplier's ledger. To further verify the payment details, we switch the filter criteria from open items to cleared items. This adjustment ensures that we can review all the transactions that were successfully processed during the clearing operation. In the previous step, we adjusted the status field to display cleared items. Now, we proceed to click the Go button to refresh the data. This action updates the view to reflect only the cleared items, filtering out the open transactions and focusing on those successfully processed. The transition ensures that the data is streamlined for further analysis. In this final view, we can now clearly see the details of the cleared items. The following transactions are displayed. AR. This is the financial accounting document created manually for maintenance expenses, processed without a purchase order. This type of entry is typically used for direct postings in financial accounting. RE. This document represents a complete procurement process, starting from a purchase order, followed by goods receipt, and concluding with the invoice verification within the logistics module. Both of these transactions have been cleared by the payment document KZ, which reflects the manual payment operation performed to settle the supplier's account. The cleared items view highlights how both processes, manual accounting entry, KR, and procurement workflow RE, are reconciled through a single clearing document. This view provides a comprehensive understanding of the life cycle of these transactions, from initiation to settlement, ensuring that the supplier's account is now fully updated and balanced. Now, we navigate back to the Trial Balance app to review the updates in the financial overview after processing the payment. Here, we can verify the impact of the clearing process on the company's general ledger. In this view, we can see the trial balance as it appeared before the payment was applied. Specifically, under the Payables Domestic line, the balance still shows the outstanding amount of €3,410. This represents the liabilities before the payment process was executed. Let's proceed to refresh the report to capture the updated status. After refreshing the trial balance, the report now reflects the cleared items. The Payables Domestic account balance has been updated to 0, indicating that the liability has been fully settled. Additionally, you can observe the corresponding reduction in the bank account, showing the cash outflow used to settle the payment. In conclusion, this process demonstrates how the payment was accurately recorded and reflected in the system. The Payables Domestic account has been cleared, reducing the company's liabilities, while the bank account shows the corresponding cash outflow. This final step highlights the integrity of the SAP system in maintaining a balanced and transparent financial record. In this step, we aim to streamline the layout of our report by removing the supplier dimension. To do this, we select the supplier field from the report view. Upon selection, the system automatically moves the field to the Available Field section on the left-hand panel, effectively removing it from the report displayed on the right. As a result, the supplier dimension is no longer displayed in the report, providing a cleaner layout. This prepares the report for our next exercise, focusing solely on the remaining dimensions and ensuring the data view aligns with our objectives.
Let's take a moment to revisit and consolidate what we've achieved so far in this and the previous lessons. Up to this point, we've built a solid understanding of the accounts payable process, progressing step by step. In earlier lessons, we explored how to post invoices both manually and through the procurement process, starting with purchase orders, goods receipts, and finally the invoice itself. This gave us a complete view of how financial data flows seamlessly from logistics into accounting. In this lesson, we went further by integrating these invoices into the financial accounting system. We processed a manual payment, cleared open items, and ensured all postings were reflected correctly in the system. Finally, we reviewed the trial balance, confirming how liabilities were reduced and cash balances adjusted as part of the payment process. This marks the conclusion of our journey through the accounts payable process, showcasing how SAP connects procurement and financial data to provide transparency and accuracy in reporting. Looking ahead, the next lesson focuses on production planning, a critical process for manufacturing companies. If your company operates in services, you can choose to skip this section and proceed directly to the order-to-cash process, tailored to workflows without a production environment. Alternatively, feel free to explore the production lesson out of curiosity to expand your understanding of SAP's full capabilities. Congratulations on reaching this milestone. Your progress so far has been impressive, and I look forward to seeing you in the next chapter of this journey. Great job!